But this is the night shift of a ER hospital in San Antonio. A bunch of ER doctors and just kind of everything that they get thrown at them that comes through the doors of the ER. The one little bit of a twist and stuff that we have in our show is a lot of them are military or ex-military, which kind of gives it. We can go in little different directions, and obviously our our passions and the people we see kind of come in the door, and the things we've seen overseas, having been deployed and all that stuff. It kind of changes, kind of the nuances a little bit. So it's kind of fun that way. At this point, he's in his second year residency. He's got a few more years to go, and then he owes the Army his 10 years, and so that's something that he's looking forward to, and something that he he struggles with in terms of obviously being stateside and enjoying the camaraderie, and I'm kind of figuring out that that he likes the work. I guess it gives him that adrenaline rush that I think a lot of these guys kind of look for. Your job is to save a life, but how you do that, isn't always, you don't always agree. And so that kind of, especially having, Army medicine, especially out on the field, is a lot different than, working in the hospital where you have all the tools. And so the mentality that Owen's character brings, TC, and Ken and Topher to a certain degree. Ken Luong plays Topher, and then my character, which doesn't have as much experience overseas. It kind of leads to maybe a different way of looking at it. Because it's certainly a drama, and with the relationships and kind of a lot of the heartbreaking stories and the struggles and of these characters, I think people relate to them on those levels. But it was what surprised me was the amount of comedy in it, the amount you laughed watching it. It was more of a. You wouldn't mistake it for a comedy, but you certainly laughed more than you thought you would, and it's kind of a unique combination where it's not an ER and it's certainly not a Scrubs, but it was just kind of a surprising blend of drama and comedy that I don't know any show on television that kind of has that right now. I think the chemistry of us as a cast really comes across on screen, and then it invites the viewer into to be like, no, I wanna be their friend. Like, I wanna be in that group, and she's invaluable. I mean, all you hear all day is like, where's Susie? Is Susie? Because I don't know how to do it. Just hold it like this. What am I doing? And so she's been totally invaluable. Yeah. There's TC and Jordan who have a past that's alluded to, which is obviously going to complicate things. But we start off, it's just kind of about the, the brotherhood and the sisterhood, just what you need, to kind of get through the day, and to see all these tragedies, and to kind of, obviously to take them seriously. But if you're totally invested emotionally in you're just not going to make it. And so that's why it's kind of like that. It's got that MASH quality about it, where it's just like, we got to do, we got to have fun, and we got to kind of let loose on the job. There's a rather large man in the hospital creating a little bit of a stir. He wants to be helped immediately, and he loses his temper. And so I get to kind of come in and be the hero and subdue him with a rear naked choke. You're just going to see how these people deal with loss and tragedy and emergency situations and complications in the workplace. But it's more about our individual journey on the fact that, on how we solve the case, or how we can't solve the case, or and what that kind of stirs in us, because we all have, we all come from these fairly specific backgrounds. It's a pretty motley crew of people, and the fact that they're all kind of ex-military for the most part kind of lends a certain dynamic to it, that these people have seen, a lot of things, and so I think when you've been through something like that, it kind of colors the way you look at things.